Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday and the 6th day of August. Another pretty nice day in the neighborhood. More to come. More showers and storms in the forecast in lieu of not one, but a couple of cold fronts. I've got a little better of an idea as to the timing of which that I'll share with you in just a few moments, and how right now we're still looking at what looks to be a very nice, near picture perfect weekend, August weekend. Glad to share that with you before I leave you. I'll be sharing with you a couple of other headlines tonight. Also, I can tell you we have a camera right now at a special session of the McGoffin County Board of Education. But two vehicle accidents, I should say, one involving a passenger vehicle last night in which there were only minor injuries. Fortunately, a motorcycle accident striking a parked car earlier this afternoon. Some video or pictures just coming in from the scene. And, I don't know, I guess maybe a bit of commentary, maybe leading into a report about two arrests, two people hallucinating, one leaving a child unattended outside for an unknown amount of time, while two adults were reportedly inside, high on drugs, possibly meth, hallucinating quite seriously. And finally, just an update, even though it's not breaking news, just in lieu of another story we're working on, not being ready for air. Some good news for everyone who travels, and I do mean everyone who travels the Route 30 and Conley Farm area, unless you've been kind of enjoying the lower traffic numbers which they have seen. So we'll talk more about the cold fronts and all that in just a few seconds. There's a couple of things I wanted to kind of put out there for you. A lot of folks coming to the aid in support of those Black Jewel coal miners. And there's an event coming up this weekend. A lot of folks here in the viewing area. Of course, trail riding is a big thing with ATVs and side-by-sides and the like. And if you'd like to have a good time and help support those families, you can do so. A cumulative effort between the County of Knott, between the Fiscal Court, the Knott County Sportsplex, Mind Made Paradise has also partnered with the event for a big trail ride this coming Saturday. And it's, of course, a complete fundraiser for the Black Jewel miners and their families. They actually get to stay and camp at the park for free on that occasion, and they're hoping that everyone else will bring their side-by-side, their ATV, their friends and families, and make a donation. You can donate as much as you want. A donation of $25 or more will get you a free t-shirt that's been made in their honor, and it is this coming Saturday. I do not have the time for that, but we'll gather that information. I just received a call from someone in Knott County a few moments ago, and I'll get that to you on tomorrow's program. So if that's something you'd like to do and support them, there's a great way to do it. And for anyone who would like to see the Vice President in person, you might get a chance to do so. He's on his way to Eastern Kentucky this week. And we're also getting reports that President Trump may as well be visiting the Commonwealth sometime in the near future. As for Vice President Mike Pence, he's going to join the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and Kentucky's Governor Matt Bevin this Thursday in Manchester. They will be at the Eastern Kentucky University's satellite campus. A couple of topics: the opioid crisis and the means of battling it. Also, the Innovative Readiness Training, or IRT program, that was put together by the governor, or put together in Kentucky by the governor, I should say. That will be discussed. The purpose of that program is to provide Medicare or medical care and other basic infrastructure to underprivileged parts of rural Kentucky. That, once again, Mike Pence coming to Manchester on this Thursday. Before we go to our first quick break, a couple of updates on two auto accidents, both resulting in only minor injuries. It appears as though both individuals taken to the hospital, one by a personal or privately owned vehicle and the other by ambulance, but both were up and walking upon arrival of emergency personnel. It's my understanding that a young McGoffin County man did not suffer serious or life-threatening injuries as a result of this single-car crash that happened on Lick Creek last night. The vehicle went up onto the embankment or off the roadway and then flipped, landing on its side, as you see here. He was already taken from the scene by a personal or privately owned vehicle to the emergency room or hospital for the severity of his injuries, which were once again deemed non-life-threatening. No other vehicles were involved in this accident. The second crash to report actually happened this afternoon, sometime around 4 o'clock or so, involving a motorcycle and a parked vehicle. Now, this on Route 30 near the mouth of 378. A Luther Keaton was operating a sport bike, or crotch rocket as they are commonly known, and failed to negotiate a curve, telling officers that he was traveling at too high of a rate of speed for the curve. The motorcycle left the roadway. He struck a parked car but was up and able to walk on his own. Upon arrival of emergency personnel, however, was transported by ambulance to an area hospital for further observation. He was wearing a helmet, or there was a helmet found at the scene. However, Montgomery County Sheriff's Deputy Brian Tipton cited Keaton for not having a valid motorcycle operator's license and not having any valid insurance on the motorcycle. The incident remains under investigation by Deputy Tipton with the Montgomery County SO. When we come back, 2 cases of arrest after people hallucinating. It's not uncommon to hear. I mean, it's almost a daily occurrence. I'll touch on that in just a few seconds.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Did you know that with the IGA Personal Rewards Card, real people are getting really big discounts on gas? Just sign up at IGA, and from then on, for every $50 you spend on groceries, you get anywhere from 5 to 25 cents off on each gallon of gas you buy at VIP Fuels on the Parkway. This customer saved $1.75 a gallon, and some have paid only 10 cents a gallon for 15 gallons of gas. And it's quick because your points stack up. And most weeks, IGA has double, triple, or even 5 times the points. And they'll give you another 10 cents off every time you share your receipt on the IGA Facebook page showing you've saved. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville. 349-8785. Here's another great coupon deal from your Sagersville Lees. Clip this coupon out of this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent, and you get not 1, 2, but $3 off any family pack. That's 8, 12, 16, or 20-piece meal deals. Take $3 off just by clipping the coupon, which you can also pick up in the papers available at Lee's Famous Recipe. It's a win-win at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Just like that, we've jumped into the spring allergy season with all the buds and blooms, tree and grass pollen, mold, and all the nasal congestion, sneezing, itchy nose and eyes and throat that they cause. Don't get caught off guard. Protect yourself daily with a quick trip to Parkway Pharmacy for over-the-counter and prescription relief. And you can always log into parkwaypharmacy.com to have your prescriptions ready when you get there at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville. On a personal note, I just don't know what we're going to do, what we can do for our communities and for our families, our kids, to help keep them safe. When pills started falling to the wayside to meth and other drugs like heroin, news reports every night were about meth trafficking. It was every night we were talking about meth. It was just starting to show up in high numbers, and trafficking and possession, and then it got to where that was such commonplace. We only really focus now on the larger stories or cases involving methamphetamine and trafficking in methamphetamine. But that doesn't mean it's gone away. In fact, it's just not, and it's continuing to get worse. And now stories like these are also making headlines, to the point that the following first report involving an Oil Springs man actually came across my desk yesterday, but sadly it was commonplace, so it didn't make yesterday's headlines. But taking into consideration the next report that I'll have tonight, both of these arrests paint a very bleak picture, I think, for us all. 2 individuals on drugs, high, hallucinating, talking to people who weren't there, waving their hands, in one case involving a small child who was just left outside to fend for herself. Sunday evening at around 7:45 on Route 40 in Johnson County, Officer Castle with the Johnson County Sheriff's Department received a complaint about a man walking around, acting weird, talking to himself, waving his arms in the air. And upon arrival of the officer, he found this man, Randall L. Baldwin, sitting behind a tree. When Officer Castle asked him his name, he couldn't tell him, or at least wasn't willing to tell him, one or the other. The officer says he was disoriented, couldn't recall his birthday, and was still talking to people who weren't there. He searched Baldwin and recovered a needle and a syringe along with a small plastic bag and a white crystal powder inside it. Baldwin was taken first to the Palby Hall Medical Center to be medically cleared, still refusing to give his name or any identifying information, but after he was medically cleared, he was taken to the Big Sandy Detention Center where the staff knew of him and were able to identify him as 34-year-old Randall Baldwin of Paintsville. And then yesterday, around the same time, at Dempsey Housing in Johnson County, Amy Justice was the subject of the next arrest, acting erratic, but much more so. It was actually Post 9 of the state police that got a call about an intoxicated female at Dempsey Housing who was hallucinating and had a small child around the age of 2 in her care. Officer Thompson, that's Dustin Thompson with KSP Post 9, was informed that Justice had actually left the child outside of the apartment and unattended and was no longer watching the child. Thompson says that as soon as he got there, he was approached by a neighbor and told about what was going on, the neighbor stating that Justice had been hallucinating and at one point had told that neighbor that she and her boyfriend had been lying in the closet on the floor because of things they had seen. The neighbor went on to tell the officer that at one point, Justice had let her small child out of the residence but never came out to watch it, leaving her unattended. The neighbor saying that when the child was first outside that the door was open, but then at one point the boyfriend stated, got a bad feeling, and then shut the door, leaving the child outside by itself. The neighbor eventually, of course, took the child to her residence and called the Department of Social Services, which was for the second time yesterday that she called. The neighbor stated that DSS told her to call the police, and when the police arrived, that being Officer Thompson, he knocked on the door and announced himself, and he heard one person run by the front door and up the stairs, and he kept announcing himself at the front door, as well as the back door. And once a deputy arrived with some backup, officers were given the authority to enter the residence, and they found Justice naked in the bathroom, with the officers telling her dozens of times to put her clothes back on, which she refused or failed to do. And while the officers were still trying to convince her to get her clothes on so she could be arrested, she squatted on the floor, grabbed an uncapped needle, and started swinging it at the officers' legs. That's when she was pepper sprayed and removed from the bathroom and taken downstairs, where she still refused to put any clothes on, and then opened a window to the residence and started yelling at the people outside while she was still naked. Some of those people outside being small children. She was finally handcuffed and removed from the residence with a blanket around her, taken by ambulance to the Palby Hall Medical Center for her high level of intoxication, ultimately medically cleared, discharged, and taken to the Big Sandy Jail on charges of resisting arrest, menacing, disorderly conduct in the second degree, and endangering the welfare of a minor. From there is tonight's community calendar. A lot happening on tonight's community calendar. No birthdays tonight. We'll probably have some tomorrow or soon thereafter. But, like I said, a lot happening. And a couple of ways to show appreciation on behalf of a couple of different entities. One being our farmers market, and the other, a really nice cruise-in expected for this Saturday. First up, a tasty announcement and good deals to be had this Friday, starting at 3 until they sell out. The Magoffin County Farmers Market on West Maple Street is having Customer Appreciation Day. I promise you, great fruits, vegetables, some baked goods, and a whole lot more. This Friday is Customer Appreciation Day at the Magoffin County Farmers Market. This Saturday is going to be the next cruise-in, sponsored by the Licking River Cruisers Car Club, and this is going to be this Saturday at 4 o'clock, and they're going to be there until about dusk. This is Sagersville Appreciation Day, and they'll be having hot dogs and drinks, and hope that you'll be there. Everyone who shows up to participate gets a dash plaque. There are door prizes to be drawn for the hot dogs and drinks for everyone, whether you participate or come to just check out all of the cool rides at the cruise-in starting Saturday at 4. Revival coming up at the regular Primitive Baptist Church on Coon Creek. That's this Sunday evening at 7 with Kelly Cottle and Floyd Arnett and Pastor Herman Russell. They all welcome you and hope that you'll be there. Revival at the Primitive Baptist Church on Coon Creek, Sunday at 7. And don't forget the Open Bass Tournament this Saturday, hosted by the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church. They're going to blast off from the Clay Lick Boat Ramp at 6 o'clock Saturday evening and weigh in at 2 in the a.m. $1,000 for first place and other big cash prizes all tournament long. And if you have anything you want on our calendar, all you have to do is get it to me so I can tell everyone about it. Turning to funeral service announcements for this Tuesday, details now on services to be held for 59-year-old S.E. Gamble of Falcon, who passed away day before yesterday, survived by her husband Kenneth Gamble, as well as daughters Rebecca McCarty, Tanya Lunsford, Angie Brown, and Kendra Wireman. Services are going to be held this Friday at 1 at the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation will begin tomorrow evening, continue all day Thursday, and up until Friday's services.
Appalachian Wireless has a question for you. Would you rather pay $650 or $66 for a smartphone? If you think this answer is simple, then the Appalachian Advantage plan is for you. Pay less upfront for today's hottest smartphones, and then pay just a few dollars more every month on the monthly bill. Many smartphones are $5 a month or less after you factor in the $20 discount from the Advantage plan compared to the contract offering. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Payment agreement required. See store for details.
It's time to see what a great time just $10 can get you while you help out a lot of amazing organizations. It's time for the 16th annual Magoffin County Community Day, featuring Russell Moore and Third Time Out, Ralph Stanley II and the Clinch Mountain Boys, Hammertown, Blue Highway, Nathan and Chessie Arnott Band, Route 1081, Terry Miller and Traveler, plus the Project Echo Kids and a special performance by Waylon Bays. And of course, more food, fun, games, and prizes than you can stand. And not only does your $10 get you in, but it also gets you entered to win this Ford Fusion to be given away that night. And kids under 12 get in free at the 16th annual Magoffin County Community Day, Saturday, August the 17th, all starting at 10 a.m. If you've never seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen anything like it. And if you have seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen it like this. From all the styles of pillows, dishware, bedding, and wall hangings, it's full of beautiful home decor. And there are frames for anyone and any occasion. There are neat and unique ways to design and do it yourself. There are flowers too perfect to be real. And from expecting moms to newborns, toddlers, teens, and adults, the fashions and designs and jewelry are simply endless and always changing at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop. Big Sandy Healthcare and Hope Family Medical Center are proud to announce the newest addition to their staff and team of over 200 dedicated employees and medical professionals. Podiatrist Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney has joined Big Sandy Healthcare at the Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville on Beriah Boulevard, just a couple of doors up from the least famous recipe. For anything minor or serious foot or ankle related, Dr. Stalder Cheney is now accepting new patients at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. A little of what's new at Parkway Gun and Pawn. A big selection of hunting, bowie knives, some to use, some to collect, or both, starting as low as $14.99 a piece. Hey gamers, while they last, they just got in 2 PS4 Pro editions in perfect condition. And as new, still in the packaging, big flat screens at big discounts. A new selection of kitchen gear and appliances, and even a new in-the-box 30-gallon electric hot water heater. You never know what you're going to save on, but you're always going to save at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Magoffin County Board of Education met in special session at 5. I had left an opening because I expected us to have that video in. I do have that video just in, just not in time to get an edit done on it. So with my apologies, we'll get to that tomorrow and some other headlines and interviews. I do, however, for tonight, just have a quick update. I told you it was going to happen yesterday, but I told you that it was planned to happen on a couple of other occasions. So just so you know, I don't know if it Just so you know, I don't know if it opened at 10 o'clock this morning as was scheduled, but I do know that there were just a couple of crews still doing some finishing finishing touches on the new bridge over the Licking River going on to Route 30 off of 460, and that it is indeed open to traffic. Just a couple of days behind after a few last-minute change orders, but bigger, better, wider, and safer than ever, and now open to everyone. Yay. Now, lastly, your weather forecast, where we do have a couple of cold fronts. One that will, of course, give us some change with an increase of showers and storms and lower temperatures thereafter. This is going to be later tonight into your tomorrow. We're not looking at any major weather activity out of this right now, but, you know, those thunderstorms have, as they have done all summer long, popped up sometimes when you least expected it. Now, the other cold front is actually going to be a little stronger in nature, comes through Friday, but I think it's going to be gone also, kind of like the first, in rather short notice. Now, as for some particulars and some timing, as it pertains to your Licking Valley RECC forecast tonight, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That's mainly after 1 and mainly after I hope we're all fast asleep. Mostly cloudy. We should bottom out at about 68 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, that cold front gives us more shower chances to the tune of 50%, but partly sunny on your Wednesday. Temperatures backing down as a result of that cold front as well, down to around 83 degrees. A southwesterly wind 6 to 8 miles per hour unless you get caught under one of those thunderstorms. New rainfall amounts up to a quarter of an inch unless, like I said, you're under a thunder boomer. Tomorrow night, the shower chances are 0. That's right. Wednesday night, partly cloudy. Should be a quick hit for this first cold front, but partly cloudy, 66 for your Wednesday night. Thursday's going to start off on a sunny, nice note with 85, mostly sunny degrees. Shower chances not until Thursday night right now. The time frame looks to be around 9 p.m. and a low of 67. That next cold front gives us shower chances on Friday, only to the tune of 30%. This is not a major weather player right now, but still mostly sunny, cooler at 82 with a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 5 p.m. on your Friday. By the end of Friday night, be a good night for football. We're getting close to it. Mostly clear skies and a low of 61. Saturday, for your weekend, right now, we've been teetering back and forth between having some shower chances and not. Right now, not. Saturday, sunny and 82. Mostly clear that night and 62. Sunday, sunny and 85. Partly cloudy and 66 that night. First of next week, we'll start off in the mid and even upper 80s with sunny skies, at least mostly sunny, and some shower chances to go along with it. That's it for tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday and the next edition of Your News Today, and we'll be talking about as well what's coming out in this edition, or this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent, among other things. Hope to see you then. Good day.